Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Today is another yummy episode of Relax and Raunchy Relationships with me, Ingrid Galloway, and a beautiful new guest. Today's guest is Shari Ware, and Shari is a health coach, best-selling author, international speaker who is on a mission to help people to change their weight or health story in a way that is healthy, sustainable, and doesn't completely suck. Yes, who wants a suck journey, right? By working on the root cause rather than treating the symptoms. Very, very good. Shari's motto after losing 100 kg herself naturally, oh wow, 100 kg, that's amazing, is that you can change your story one change at a time. I feel that, we're aligned here because my motto, if you can see my banner at the back, is healing the world one couple at a time. Yeah, so we would love to reach as many people as possible, but hey, definitely working one person at a time, heal one person at a time is awesome. So welcome, Shari.
Thank you, Ingrid. It's great to be here. So that people, I know a lot of people already know who you are, but for those of my people who are watching, Ingrid Galloway is the founder, relationship coach, and chief relaxation officer of KAHYANGAN, which means heaven. I absolutely love that, which is a wellness clinic in Sydney. She's been a relationship coach for 11 years and a spa therapist for 21 years. That's a long time, mainly in five-star hotel day spas in Sydney. So she's used to looking after thousands of highly stressed clients from all over the world. A lot of my people are definitely in that category. She practices from KAHYANGAN in Sydney and from clients' homes, offices and hotel rooms and online, which is awesome these days. Her work is always focused on stress, relaxation and relationships. She does one-on-one coaching sessions, group workshops and soon retreats for the broken-hearted singles and loving couples. That sounds exciting.
Yes, that's my new project, retreats. Woohoo! Can't wait. Now, Shari, if I can ask with the first question, what is your why? Why do you do what you do?
I do what I do because I know what it's like to be in a place where you are continually judged, you are continually told that it's so easy, you just need to eat better and you just need to exercise and everything will be fixed. However, they're just the symptoms. They're not, it's not, we know what we need to do. And especially when it comes to releasing weight or creating change in our health. We might not know all the steps, but we do know at least one or two things that we can do that are going to get us closer to the result that we want, which is a healthier us. However, if we're not doing that, it's not because we're lazy, it's not because we have no motivation, it's because there is a reason in our subconscious. And I actually use a quote from the beautiful Louise Hay. Mm-hmm. She said it just perfectly, that weight is simply a physical manifestation of a much deeper issue, and it absolutely is. And I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be in that place where you know that you're self-sabotaging, you know what you need to do, but you just, for whatever reason, and you don't understand yourself, you're not doing it. And I found my way out. And so that's why I do what I do, because I want to help others who are just like me.
Oh, amazing. That's good. Yes, definitely. Because there's a lot of different diets out there, right? So you can pick and choose, whatever you want to try. But how can you actually go to the root cause? Because otherwise you just go on a loop of trying this diet and then, not successful, trying that diet, not successful. Why am I like this?
Yeah. Why am I not doing what I know I need to do?
Yeah.
That's the crucial question.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that.
So why do you do what you do?
Because I observe a lot of things in my life. You know, growing up, I came from a very religious family in Indonesia, and I moved here by the age of 21. So, growing up, I learned how not to communicate with my partner by observing my role models. And I grew up with a lot of guilt and shame and suppressed anger being around me, all instilled upon me. So I felt that it's not quite me. Somehow I didn't have the awareness that I have now back then, but I just sensed that something is not me, something is not right. So therefore, I always wanted to go overseas, and one ticket to go overseas is to get married, because as the only child, I'm not allowed to go overseas unless it is to follow my husband. So I got married at the tender age of 21, not because I didn't love my, ex-husband at all, but partly, yes, I loved him, partly because I wanted to escape. Which is not a very good reason to get married. But mind you, I stayed in a marriage for 10 years. Unfortunately, it was an abusive relationship, so I left after 3 attempts. And then, I gained, during that time and afterwards, I gained depression, anxiety, lost all my properties, and simply hit rock bottom. And I started my self-healing journey then. I went back to college, studied counseling, life coaching, followed a few self-development seminars, and communicating with a couple of therapists. So I learned my lesson, and I found myself, because during that marriage, I was turned into something that I'm not, into somebody that I'm not. So, I was very, very naive back then. I was young. I was very naive that when he said, before I moved to Australia, when he said that, Ingrid, you need to change. If you want to move to Australia, you need to change. You can't be like when you're in Indonesia. So I didn't consider that as a red flag. I was quite naive. Apparently, well, newsflash people, that's a red flag. When your future partner cannot accept you for who you are, it's a red flag. So now, yeah, I'm happily married with my second husband. We just celebrated our 12 years wedding anniversary. We have two kids together, two daughters. And unfortunately, during the childbearing, delivery and of the second child especially, I experienced postnatal depression, pre and postnatal depression. So yes, therefore, I really would love to help people in similar sort of predicament when they have a little bit of mental health issues, but they're either brokenhearted or they're a couple, but they have some sort of struggles. Not necessarily have to be at on the verge of a divorce. That is, yes, I just simply would love to help them. Yeah, that's my why.
One thing I experience a lot is that I find a lot of the people that I work with are also having struggles in their relationships because they're not happy with themselves.
Yes.
They don't love themselves, and so that unfortunately has ramifications on their partners. So yeah, definitely something that's important is to not only work on our relationship with others, but more important, our relationship with ourselves, because that flows through to all other relationships.
Yes, definitely. Very, very important point there. Thank you. So now it's time to share our tips. 3 most important things when it comes to releasing weight. Shari, I'm curious about that one, because I reckon a lot of people, especially during this COVID era, pack up some weight, including myself. So I would love to learn a thing or two from you.
So my three biggest, I've learned a lot over my journey, but the three things that I start with that are the most important is, number one is your why. And I actually use a quote from a book called The Secret Code of Success by Noah St. John. And in that book, he says that you can't fix a why-to problem with a how-to answer. So this goes back to when I was saying we know what we need to do, but if we're not doing it, why are we not doing it? And that comes back to this. So we may have all the reasons why. If it comes to releasing weight, we can have the best reasons in the world of why we want to release weight. For instance, I had my own daughter, and I was a foster carer for a lot of years. I had children. I wanted to see them grow up and go to university if that's what they wanted to do. Get married, have children. I wanted to see all of that. I didn't have, I wasn't living my life. It wasn't much fun at over 180 kilos. There wasn't a lot of fun in my life. And you would think that that would be enough for me to do what I needed to do, but it wasn't. And the reason why is because I had for all the reasons why I wanted to, I had this really big reason why I didn't want to. So my why not was so massive that I couldn't do anything until that went away. And my why not was that I didn't want to have a relationship. So my previous relationship had been a 9-year relationship with the father of my child, and that had ended badly, and I was really, really hurt, and I didn't want to repeat that. So I created this suit of armour. My weight was my suit of armour. It was my protection against that. So it wasn't until one day I woke up and I thought, oh, maybe I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. Maybe I might actually like to have a relationship in the future. So then my why not flipped. It became a why. And then I had what I call massive why power. And one of the biggest things I learned is that when you have massive why power, you don't need willpower. I was then able to make the changes I needed to make one at a time to my lifestyle, to release the 100 kilos. And, I've never looked back since. So when you have a really strong why, I'm not going to say it's a walk in the park. There's still going to be times when it may be a little bit of a struggle, or things might get a bit tricky, but it's certainly a lot easier. And I also say that if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. So that's the first thing, is your why power.
Oh my God, I love this why power. I think I need to use it because I've been procrastinating about something, right? This one thing that I really, really want, but why am I not doing it? Maybe my why not is bigger than my why. Oh my God, thank you.
And that's the thing, like, this applies to every single goal all of these things, these three things apply to any goal that we're trying to achieve in our life. And so whenever I have a really big goal, I apply all of these to all of them. Number two is belief. Now, there are 4 parts to belief. First of all, you need to believe that what you're trying to achieve is possible in the first place. Because if you don't believe it's possible, subconsciously you're not going to try. Secondly, you need to believe that you can achieve it. So often we'll say things to ourselves like, oh, well, it's all right, Shari did that, but that doesn't mean that I can. Somehow it's different for me, and I might not be able to do that. So you just have to have some semblance of belief in yourself that you can achieve that. Number 3 is you need to consciously work on removing all of those subconscious limiting beliefs that you have. We all have them. So that takes some work. And then the fourth one, and this is really important, is that we need to be open to our beliefs changing along the way. And that has been the case for me along my whole journey. So my journey started out as a weight loss journey. It became a weight release journey. And now it's a health journey. And part of the reason for that is because my beliefs continually change. As I learn more, as I experience more, as I go along my journey, my beliefs change. And if they hadn't changed, I have no doubt I would have, at some point, I would have self-sabotaged and put all the weight back on again. And number three, the third tip is, and it may be third, but it is one of the most important, all of these are equally important, is to focus on one change at a time. Because think about whenever we try to achieve, especially when it comes to our health or our weight, we all think, okay, that's it, we're going to do something about this. We're going to change what we eat drastically. We're going to go on this really strict diet. We're going to do all this exercise. And how long does it last? Not long, because it's too much. It becomes too hard. It becomes overwhelming and we give up.
Just like New Year's resolution, right?
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with making a New Year's resolution. I make them all the time. However, I only work on making one change at a time. So when I started on my weight loss journey, which is how it started, I started with my nutrition. I thought, okay, I know there's definitely some things with my nutrition I can change. So that's where I started. And I didn't move on to exercise, came next, but I didn't move on to exercise until I had my nutrition to the point where I didn't have to think, it had become a habit. I didn't have to think about it anymore. It just happened. So one change at a time, and don't move on to the next one until you've got that one sorted.
Nice, lovely. Oh, so beautiful. Very, very, I call them diamonds. Thank you for sharing your diamonds.
Love to hear what yours are.
Right, yeah, so 3 tips on relationship. This time I will focus on the broken-hearted singles, because quite typically, you know, after they break up, they also go to food as an escape or to numb the pain, right? I mean, I can refer them if they are having weight issues, of course, but in terms of the relationship itself with ourselves, I will say number 1 is to commit to yourself to manifest your future plans or goals. Commitment that you are worthy. You know, I want to make the change. Belief that you mentioned about belief, so I really believe that. You know, I believe that I deserve the change. You know, to whatever the future that I want. Because without knowing that, okay, I deserve this, this is happening, then whatever future that you plan will not happen, because it's not aligned with this, and with this. So not aligned with your heart, your words in your mouth, and in your brain, in your head. So number 2 is to reframe negative thoughts and talks. Of course, you know, after breaking up, it's very painful. You are hurt. The other person's hurt. And negative thoughts just come regularly, I would say, come regularly. And we talk also in a negative word. So, for example, if you want to reframe, okay, we're still in COVID era now. Because of COVID, I lost my job. That's a negative statement. But if you can reframe that, because of COVID, I get a chance to pursue my dreams, right? You see the difference? So if you can reframe your negative thoughts and words, you will definitely change something there. And number 3, to avoid the word never and the word always statements about your future partner. Now, okay, I understand that you're hurt currently right now, but you long to attract a new partner. But if you keep saying, you know, men always cheat.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, he's never going to understand how I feel. So, who would like to be judged like that?
Right. No.
If you use the word always, he's always going to be like this. You know, he's always going to cheat because in the past you've been cheated. Or he never going to understand how I feel because in the past you may communicate differently, so your past partner couldn't understand you because you communicated differently. By working with a counselor or a relationship coach, then you will be able to learn what is your communication style and what's your partner's communication style, so you can understand each other better. You can understand each other's love language better. So avoid the word never and always. So those are my 3 tips.
Awesome. I love that never and always. I will, language is very important in the work that I do as well. And I've never really focused on those 2 words. So that's definitely something I'm going to be focusing on from now on because they are very important, as you said.
Yes, it's just automatic, isn't it? Like,
Mm.
you never blah blah. You always blah blah. Automatic. We just need to be careful.
Yes, that's right, because then we're putting everybody in the same box and it's not always true.
Yes, exactly. So now, people, we come to the fun part of this podcast. True and false statement. Let's guess with me. Shari said that she has run a marathon. Or statement number 2, Shari has 6 children. Oh my God, Shari, have you been very, very productive in producing 6 children? So I guess number 1 is correct. Shari has run a marathon.
Yes, definitely. I don't know that I'll ever run another marathon.
Okay.
I certainly don't like running. I don't like the execution of any form of exercise. However,
Yeah.
I do. Exercise is very important for our health, so I do engage in it regularly. However, I'm not a runner, and the whole way that came about was that I'd never entertained the thought 10 years ago that I would ever be able to run. It just never ever crossed my mind. I'd been morbidly obese for most of my life up until that point, and exercise was an issue, let alone it was hard just to walk. It was painful just to put the weight on my feet first thing in the morning. So running was certainly never anything that I ever thought I'd be able to do. And then suddenly, well, not suddenly, it took a while, but I was 100 kilos lighter, and I thought, oh, okay, wow, what else can I achieve now? So I set myself a goal to run a marathon, and I had lots of issues leading up to that marathon in the training. I think the longest run I was able to do because of the injuries that I had leading up to it was probably 17 kilometres, 18 kilometres, and a marathon is 42.2. So I didn't even get halfway in my training. But on the day, I just said, oh, well, you know what? I set myself this goal and I paid for it. And I don't care if, because you only have a certain amount of time before they've got to open the roads up again.
Okay.
And I didn't think that I would, in all my runs up until that point, I hadn't been under the time. And so, but I just said to myself, you know what, I'm going to do it. And even if they start opening the roads up, I'll just keep running along the side of the road until I finish my marathon. Anyway, I have to say it was one of the most amazing things I've ever achieved in my life. I did run the whole way. I had set myself a challenge that I would run the whole way. I did run the whole way, as much as you can call what I do a run. And I did make it under the cutoff. So I did get my shiny medal in the end, and now I've done it and I never have to do it again.
Apart from pain experience physically, also financially painful.
Well,
That can be a little bit of a motivation.
exactly, and it definitely is for me. And that was one of the things that we all have things that are difficult for us, you know, especially when it comes to exercise. A lot of people don't like exercise.
Yes.
And so we have to find ways that are going to help us to get that to create that habit. Once the habit's created, it's a lot easier to continue the habit, but it's about getting that habit created in the first place. So one of the things for me, and what I recommend to a lot of people that I work with, is pay for it. Because when you pay for it, you are more likely to do it. Because if you're anything like me, you don't like wasting money. So if it's a choice between not going and going, when I've paid money to be there, I will go whether I like it. And so that's what worked for me, and it does work for a lot of people. So definitely,
whatever you need to do to get the job done.
Yes. Exactly, absolutely.
Add more pain.
Yes. So I have a true and false for you, and I'm actually I'd love to know which one is true. So we have two statements. Ingrid's husband texted her, "Kill me now," or Ingrid's client texted her, "Kill me now." I'd love to know which one's true.
Which one? You have to guess.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to say your husband texted you, "Kill me now."
That is correct. Woohoo!
Okay.
Yes. So I was at work one day, and then he screenshot what happened at home, because he was at home looking after the kids, right?
Okay.
Yes. And this makeup everywhere, and then eyeliner on the bathroom cupboards, lipstick on the door.
Wow.
And someone, of course, had lipstick on them.
Oh no.
We have two kids, and then both have experienced similar things. They cut their own hair.
Oh no.
And they put my makeup everywhere, including their whole body and the furniture in the house. So, but this one was child number 2, and she was well known for being the random one.
Oh wow.
And many of my friends said, "Ingrid, you need to lock that bathroom cupboard, or put your makeup bag up high somewhere." But we don't have locks in our house, so
Wow.
yeah, unfortunately, they just raid my makeup bag. Well, who knows? They may become a makeup artist. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know. So, I have one more question for you before we close. What do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship?
Okay, well, I haven't had a relationship for a very long time. I'm still single, so I'll say, what do I do to relax? I've got a few things. One thing I have learned over my journey is that it's so important to take time out for ourselves. So it can be meditation. I take time out most days to do a little bit of meditation, even if it's only for a couple of minutes. I love to have a hot bubble bath every now and then when I can. I have I call it my non-back cracking chiropractic appointment that I go to once a week, which is basically I just lay face down on a massage table and chill out for half an hour. It's so relaxing. Or I'll just, family's very important to me, and my daughter and I both work full time, and we basically work opposite shifts. So one of the favourite things I love to do is usually we have Sunday night movie night, and that's where we'll just chill out and watch a funny movie and just have some time together.
Nice. I like all of them. Yes, very relaxing. All right, beautiful people, thank you so much for watching our collaboration together. I hope you get some nuggets, beautiful aha moments, perhaps, during our tips and giggle along the way during our funny stories. And next week, we will have more beautiful guests from all over the world, global or local business owners, because I started this podcast during the COVID lockdown, beginning of COVID lockdown, feeling, I'm feeling meh, not having so much fun. And I know that a lot of business owners are suffering out there. So how can I reach out to support each other's businesses? Because I'm a business owner myself. So, and having fun at the same time as well. Because as professionals, we were trained to be professional and, looking a bit serious. It's like, where's the fun in that? So here we go, doing the podcast week after week, and I hope you get some lessons from it as well. So keep well. If people want to connect with Shari, especially talking more about weight loss and mindset behind weight loss, how can they connect with you, Shari?
So I'm all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, either Shari Ware or Fab New Body, or they can email me at info@shariware.com.
Fantastic. We will put the link in the post, definitely. And if you want to know more about relationships, whether you're brokenhearted or you are in a loving relationship but maybe have a little bit of issues, let me know. Go to my website, www.kahyangan.com.au, and request for a free chat with me. So keep well, people. Lots of love, and see you next week. Thank you, Shari.
Thank you. Bye.